Thank you very much. Good afternoon, gents and ladies. It's a cliche, but I think it's exactly what we have to say in these occasions when you're gonna face a team with the characteristics of the one we're gonna play. It's a team that for sure comes with an ambition, with a dream. It's our job not to allow that one dream can become a true goal and from it any achievement. So we need to focus on what we have to do on the match, face it in a most serious way, worry about what we have to do in every moment on the pitch, and mostly then control the match with the result that we should achieve, of course. This kind of competitions on a one match result are always tricky. If the ones that think they are stronger don't respect that fact and don't really show that they are stronger. So that's what we're going to focus on the right attitude to face a game that is an important one for us, so that we can control the opponent due to that and achieve the result and go through on the competition.
Coach, you will take the first question. Just mind the microphones. Can we get the mic to Cardoso? Sorry, Nando.
Good afternoon, Coach. Coach, I've been listening to a couple of your press conferences where you speak too much about performance. The performance of the players is quite important. In your own perspective, what takes precedence? Is it the performance or results? Because you can perform, you can have a great performance, but the result not be good, or have a good result but not a performance. So for you personally, which takes precedence and why?
Very interesting question, because yesterday I found some expression after a match from one ex-player that is now coach. I don't know if you know him or remember him. He's Argentine. His name is Pablo Aymar, and he's quite a very interesting mind to read and to listen to. And he said that sometimes people confuse coaching with control, and that comes exactly in the direction of your question, because we coach. So we influence. We try to influence we try to grow, to develop the players, the teams. But we cannot control the outcomes of the matches. So sometimes the outcomes of the matches, they are uncontrollable. What we should control is always the way we behave in the pitch, and that is our job as coaches. So performance obviously comes from the coaching, and that we can try to influence as much as possible. But then there are details on the matches that sometimes bring. They're not exactly what you expect or what you want. That's why I said exactly by starting the press conference by saying that the most important thing in this kind of matches is really to have the proper mindset, so that then what you do on a regular basis every day, it appears on the pitch and allows you to get the result. So basically that's exactly how I feel the situation.
Take the next question. Tell me. We're still in the live section.
Coach, Delmedia from Sakladuma. Coach, the tournament as unique as this gives a smaller team an opportunity to obviously dream and to aspire to beat Mamelodi Sundowns. And it also gives Sundowns an opportunity to show just how big the graph in class is. We saw it a few years ago with Power Lines. I think the biggest scoreline ever, 24-0. Do you look at it as an opportunity for you to also, as much as they are dreaming, crush their dreams and just show the type of quality, or is it a game where you give an opportunity to maybe your so-called fringe players to get a run out?
We have a big respect for any opponent, and I don't believe this kind of results they will happen again in the nearest years. For sure, that happened once in a lifetime, and we'll not be here to see it again for sure. So what I believe is that we have to fight to get a good result. But most of all, we need to understand the moment, and the moment is also for us to provide opportunity for players that have not been playing for so long, to provide rest to the ones that are really tired and need to recover. But we also need, because we know the challenge of such games, we also need to perform in the highest level in order to get a result. So our focus is first on the result, going through on the competition. Second one, on building a team that and taking it on the pitch that can be so strong as much strong as possible. And then should also analyze the players that can cope with the situation, in order to be able also not only to play this match, but looking for what you have ahead.
Can you pass the microphone to Camo?
Coach from Northern. Coach, in the previous round you played against Sibanye and Golden Stars, and they gave a performance that they displayed against Sundowns. Of course, it's entities that you don't have footage of which you can, make an analysis of on how you can, profile a certain team. But with how Sibanye performed against Mamelodi Sundowns, would you say that they sort of like gave you a taste of what it is to expect, especially playing against teams from the lower division, as now you're going to play against Mpheni Home Defenders?
Yeah, your question or your expression comes exactly on the line of what I said before. If you don't pay attention during 90 minutes to what your opponent can do, you can suffer, or you can live a moment that you don't want to live. And during 5 minutes, we lived a moment that we didn't want to live. But that was 5 minutes, because after they scored, we scored immediately, and we put it again the difference in a comfortable manner. But that's why I said that we need really to face every game with the most serious approach you can have. And it's not only the way you approach the game, it's how you play it then in that level. So with a big commitment, with a big respect for what the other ones can do, because sometimes it's not only what the others can do, it's what you take out of the intensity of the level of commitment that can put teams under these problems. Yesterday I was looking on England Cup, and one team from a Portuguese coach, that is Nuno Espírito Santo, who is Nottingham Forest, who is performing such a way in the championship. They went on penalties against a team from the 5th division. So these matches, they can be tricky, and it can happen, but will not happen Sunday.
All right, Vedide.
Hello, coach. It was off. Then the confidence still again.
No, it's not a matter of confidence, it's respect by everything. The biggest respect we should have is by ourselves. And the biggest respect we should have is put everything we have on the pitch. And it's my obligation to make that the boys understand the importance of the game. And if we do it, the difference should be in the end be respected also. So the difference should be expressed in the result. I'm not overconfident or never. I have always the biggest respect by everybody. But it's normal that it's my job to put the boys under that respect. If we respect ourselves, we also respect the opponents. And we don't have any attitude toward no one of thinking that we are better than anyone else. No, we know very well the demands that we have with ourselves, with the badge we have on our chest, the weight of our shirt. And that is the ambition a team like Mamelodi Sundowns has. So we must face this game with a big respect, but knowing what we want to do and fight for that from the first minute until the end. And if we do it so, naturally we should win. But there's 90 minutes to be played.
Okay.
You had not even asked for a question.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I left something to say.
Coach, you've obviously done a lot of analysis around Spania Golden Stars, and also now I'm sure you are in that mode of also analyzing Mpheni Home Defenders as well. I went there and visited them last week. The coach and the CEO, they are also staunch Mamelodi Sundowns fans as well. Very interesting. And what have you made of the frontier of South African football, just based on the quality of football in that space, that division?
Let's try to understand one thing, because it's normal you understand it, and if we make that analysis together, it's even more easy for you to understand. I arrived here 2.5 months ago, and most of the time I have to analyze of obviously the opponents and the games I play against my opponents. To get and obviously that I'm aware of the level that we have here, and we have wonderful players. It's a very, very intense game played, but also it's normal that you understand that the way I see the teams is the way they also mostly perform against us, and most of the teams performed against us defensively in order to close the spaces and then playing counterattacks. That's basically what I've been seeing most of the times in the games we played. But this is normal. It is normal. And in the last weekend we saw, for example, a team that closed very well their defense and tried to explore also the possibilities that the game could give them to harm us, to aggress us in terms of transitions. But the level in general is a good level. I think obviously I've been speaking about that. It's an interesting football. There are interesting coaches and very good players technically, but also physically. And I think teams are developing tactically according to what I've been speaking with most of the coaches, and mostly about with my assistant coaches, that in the last years there was a growth in terms of the tactical approach on the game. So I think good steps being given in order to that level of football in South Africa becomes stronger and stronger. And also very nice ambience in general in the games. Someone asked me about the aggressivity we felt in the last game, and I said, no aggressivity at all. We just see here people cheering. They can support their own clubs, but in the end, people cheering. It happened in the last weekend also when we played, or in the middle of the week when we played Pirates. In the end, you saw both teams saluting their supporters in a normal fair play. Supporters of each team respect each other. I saw that on the way to the stadium also. So in general, until the moment, also that dimension of the game is quite interesting here, and myself, I'm profiting a lot from this kind of ambiences also.
All right, colleagues, we move on to the embargoed section.
Coach, I want to ask, with your hectic schedule that you've had as a club and with the players, do you think playing a team from the Motsepe League is an advantage for you guys going into this weekend?
The next weekend? The team we're going to play in the next weekend?
No, the team that you're playing this weekend, is it an advantage for you playing a team from the third division, perhaps, or from the Motsepe League, for your team, considering the hectic schedule that you've had?
Yeah, I totally understand your question. Indeed, it has been hectic and it will continue. And also there's one very interesting thing, I don't know if you already noticed, but from the 8 matches we play in PSL, 6 of them we played away since I arrived. So also we have the displacements, most of them flights, most of them on the moment you are in the airport they are delayed. So it seems easy, but it's not. And in the middle we played Champions League matches. We went in the north of Africa, so lots of hours lost. It's not easy indeed, but it's challenging and interesting. By the way, the coach needs to handle with that experience. There are a couple of countries in the world that probably have such a dimension. I remember Brazil, because also there they play in a very tight schedule, and they also have big trips to do because the country is very big. And I don't know if there are many more. Obviously that this weekend we have a very important match to play. This is we just look on the side, and everybody needs and understands the responsibility. The club lost already one cup final this season, and we have a strong desire to reach the final and then play for the cup. So that's the way we're going to face. Obviously, that in the moment we have players that are super overloaded, and the risk of injury is very, very high. Also, it's important that you understand we have a big squad, but in the moment we have 10 injured players. 10. So it's because sometimes I read people asking for players that they cannot even play because they are not in conditions to play. But thank God and thanks to the work of the staff of the club, several of them are already on the last stage of their recovery process, so that they make the team stronger in order for us to face with the schedule in the right way, that is obviously rotating players and maintaining the level of the team. So, answer direct to your question, eventually we'll change a couple of players in this match, normally. But it has to do not with the level of the opponent, but with the need that we have, because we really need. Otherwise, we risk to have injuries by overuse, by overstress, by fatigue, and it's not a moment of the season with such big responsibilities to lose players by bad management. So I have to take care of that.
Lorenz of Motsepe, the hands on that side as well.
Coach, let me just get that. Which players aren't available for this game? You just said 10. What the regular team like? And then secondly...
Oh, I can try to tell you. I can try, but if we start from the back, we have Motobi, Vala. We have Rivaldo Khoza. We have Divine Lunga. We have Modal, Zuko. Then we have also Sales, that is coming back. We have, let me see if I don't make any mistake because I had them pointed. So, Kiano, that arrived injured. He's also finishing his recovery process. Mabena. So, I think
Who
it's
wants to help you then?
Temba. So, but most of them are finishing their recovery processes, and I think they will help us, even because they come from injuries. They are not so overloaded in terms of. So let's hope in the end of the season we can become even more and more stronger, because we have big challenges ahead. And as is clear for me now, PSL matches, they are played on the limit. There's no easy matches. We're going to play next PSL match against a team that is second from the bottom of the table, and we analyze them and say how it's possible, because they're strong. It's an interesting team, plays very good football. We went to play Magesi and we struggled to win the match in the end of it. So we know how is the level of the competition. We also know that playing against Sundowns gives extra energy to everybody. Everybody wants to perform because the lights are on these matches. It makes us work harder, and so we need everybody to be, because it's normal that in 72 hours, that is basically the space we have to recover players. And it's interesting even because the other day I said, when we spoke about the match of Pirates, some people didn't respect what I said regarding, I said we prepared the game in 20 minutes. I was referring about tactical work on the pitch, that in 20 minutes we had to explain the players basically what was the approach. Not that the training sessions had 20 minutes, or that we didn't discuss then in meetings or whatever, but I saw many comments saying that the coach is special one, is preparing matches in 20 minutes. No, please try to understand what I say. It meant that the conditions, the physicality imposed by a training session should not allow us more than this kind of time. Then we had several meetings in order to prepare. We used videos from that 20 minutes to repeat what we wanted. And that's exactly what happened with the TS Galaxy. Exactly what happened, the same level of training. Now, yes, now we gave rest to the boys. We arrived yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We gave them rest today. And tomorrow we're going to have a possibility to make one training session with contents in order to prepare the future, not the next match, but the future, and to continue to work on our development, on our game ideas. But even tomorrow, for some of the players, still we will worry about the rest. Still we will worry about the rest, because they are tired. It was clear, and also I said that in the end of last match. You heard me saying that obviously after a match is so easy to speak, and even for myself I try to make analysis that are easy to do them after. But it was clear that our players were tired on the match, very, very, very tired. And some of them, they didn't perform in the level they could because of being tired. But we decided to play with them in order to try to profit from the excitement and the level of commitment we had in the Pirates game. But in the end, we suffered. The players were tired. Yes, it's clear.
Yes, coach, will love more and then Mazona.
Coach, this side.
On your level, coach?
You've obviously coached in a country like Tunisia, and by your own admission, you did attest to the fact that it's a very aggressive space. Be it the supporters, be it management, at Esperance, and you feel it when the result doesn't go their way. I just want to ask you, what kind of energy maybe have you gotten this week after one of those few occasions where you've lost a match? Maybe in comparison to what maybe you got to go through while it's you in Tunisia, where they don't make it a secret when you lose a match.
Yeah, very, very interesting question. But we always have to work hard. But passion is what can make us achieve the highest standards where we want to be. And the passion didn't disappear, or will never disappear among the players and the staff and the club. So sometimes games and results can happen like that. The question on always, I think, and that's the words I gave to my players, is everybody will fall someday. The energy you put to get up and how you get up is what will mark your steps. And our intention and our energy will be put it towards the future, not towards the past. If we stand attached to that game in terms of how a result like that can influence us, for sure we will lose even more energy. Obviously that after you win a game, home game to Pirates, prolong that moment, positive moment, endure it on time. And we see, maybe you didn't hear me publicly speaking about that, but immediately after Pirates game I spoke on the locker room about the importance of the next game. Unfortunately it didn't went as we expected. It's not because we didn't fight, because we did fight. I think in the first half we could have been with a result completely opposite of the one we got, but we suffered a goal in one counter-attack, and from that we could not overcome that result. So now it's looking forward with big expectations for what he can do in the next games, knowing that they will be obviously very difficult. We're going to enter a tight schedule, but with big passion, because passion can drive us to where we want to continue to be. So we have to go back on the performance levels that allow us to win matches. We need to be also pragmatic in the moments we need to be, and we will need to handle the team in the best way, so that also from that we don't get the players extra tired and we can continue to fight for the results every day.
Azola?
Okay. Coach, I had a question about Mali Khoza.
In January, obviously, you signed 2 centre backs to compete for that position. You worked previously with young players as well. How do you expect him to respond? Because obviously, since, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, up until the Pirates game, he had played every single minute. Up until he was on the bench against Pirates, and he did play against Galaxy as well. Is it because of the options that you now have, or is it something else, and how do you expect him to respond?
Very good question, and it's a good opportunity that allows me to speak about Mali and about the central backs in general. Mali has been making a wonderful season, and we should remember that it's his first professional full season, let's say, and he became very important. He became very important due to the fact that he showed level when he was called. He showed level. So we feel very, very, very happy about his development. We trust him so much. We know that he's an asset, but he's also an asset that we should protect in certain moments. And that's exactly what happened. But at the same time, it's clear that the competition is very tight on that position. And as I said, in 1 month, eventually, Motsepe will be joining the group, and also he will increase the level of that competition. Because not only Mali stayed out, Musa also already played several games with us, and very well. Basically, we are happy with the performance. For sure, Mali will come back on the team, but he will come back on the team naturally with a level of rotation that we'll need to apply so that we can be competitive all the time. We are, as I said, I'll repeat, very happy with him. He will be an asset very important, not only for the club, but also for South African football. And we'll continue to work hard with him to make even him more strong, because I think that he can be even more strong in the future. And that will come also from the learning process that he gets from the coaches, but also from the teammates, because the fact that he has high-level concurrence for the post also obliges him to work hard. He has very good examples on his side about what it is to play on that position, and he'll get a very, very strong and very, very important player, for sure.
Okay, we'll take the last one, Jabulo.
Coach, this cup is one that the team obviously lost in the final last season. So how do the success and the failures of your predecessors impact the direction that you're taking the club on and sort of the objectives that the club has?
Look, the past is the past. I don't relate with the past. It's not because something happened in the past that it cannot happen again in a different way in the future. We don't control what happens to us. We control what we can do with what happens to us. That we control. And my intention is always with my personal life, with my family's life. That's the values I teach to my son, and that's the values I brought and joined the values that were already inside the club, is that we need to, every day when we wake up, understand that we need to progress. We need to work to be the best. We need to work to be among the best ones. And it implies us to look forward, to look for what you can do today, not to worry about what happened yesterday, because yesterday you should always analyze it, but just of using that information to become better. So I don't really care about cups played in the past. I care that in the moment, and I hope we achieve the point where we can be preparing the final of this cup match, how we will be on that moment, how we'll be able to be capable to obviously face the opposition that we'll have. First, until there, because there's a long way still. And in that moment, if it will happen, we'll deal with it in the best. It will be a very comfortable match to prepare, because when you prepare a final, it's already an achievement to be there, and So we'll be already amongst the two teams that can win it, and then it's just prepare it. But let's think about the way that can allow us to arrive on that point. That's the focus we have.
Thank you. We'll end it here, Coach. All the best for Sunday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attention.